Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about the current research, right? Because it's connected to the markets. Okay. On one side, you have saying that, oh my God, the numbers are so high. On the other side, you have people saying that, oh my God, the it's just higher testing. Okay. So we want to look at whether it's really just higher testing or is it really a cause for alarm, right? So the first thing we have to look is the percentage of positive rates over time, right? John Hopkins has the best source of data for you guys to look at if you want to study about this disease, right? Why is this important? Because if the number of people keeps getting infected, getting higher and higher, okay, it actually uh, somehow proves that we are in fact re-spreading the virus, okay, the infectivity, okay. So okay, let's talk about this, okay. uh, these are the daily tests. How many tests? Okay, these are the positives. How many percent? Okay, we generally want to look at this line. That's it. Okay, we don't really want to look at the, okay, we want, this is a total test, how many tests we do, right? Okay, so Trump has been saying, oh, because we test more, so we find more people getting sick, right? Which is true. So basically a lot of people that weren't, because we are not a perfect system, we cannot just like, all right, everybody, you guys have to go and test. We don't even have the enough resources to do it, so we have to test sequentially. We test 25,000, 45, we test 100, 100, then go up to 200, we test 138,000 people, blah 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 blah. The tests are going up, right? So before, the test was this, now the test was this, okay. So this is actually an outlier because they just started testing. Okay, so everybody that's sick, everybody that doesn't feel well will come and test. The positivity rate very high, 20%, very alarming. When you see it, 20% of the population we are infected. No, 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 that's not right. Okay, most likely people are going to test themselves if they feel sick. They are not going to test themselves if they feel healthy. All right, this is not a true sample of the population, right? Now, but as you keep as the higher the test goes up, the number goes down. Wow, okay, that's great. Now, then the more you keep testing, the number keeps going down. But suddenly, okay, we see a increase uptick slowly. Tuck, 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 tuck. That is actually significant if you look about it. Okay. So, what does this mean? The more you test, the better the perfect sample you get, right? And if you can see, they start reducing the number of tests. This is stupid. Okay, stupid. This is stupid. You don't you don't need to reduce the number of testing to, you cannot bring it down. Okay, you cannot bring down the rate of infection, okay, which is what we like to see. Okay, the positivity rate compared to the number of people you test a day, you cannot. In fact, you may bring it up, okay, like that, you see it goes up again. Okay, so they were trying to manipulate the number, but they are quite stupid, honestly, I think. So what they should do, all right. Now, first of all, I want to ask, is this significant or not? I would say it is very significant find that a 4.4% positivity rate went up to about 7.8. Okay, So twice as many people are infected. So the disease is actually spreading. Okay, so this is the first wave. Actually, we got through the first wave. Okay, boom. All right, all good. And now we go up to this is a second wave. Okay, so if I made many mistakes before, please excuse me. Okay, we are actually at the second wave now. Do you guys understand? Second wave. Okay, try not to look at this number, the what daily rates and again anymore. We have to look at this number better. Okay, so positivity rate is the best way to look at it, because we don't have a perfect sample. We had not tested everybody. We are not testing everybody every day, right? We don't have the resources to do it. So the best estimate is still the positivity rate. So every day, just come here and look at the graph going up or down. That's it. Okay, this number is not correct. Again, I repeat, this number is an outlier. Please do not take this number. Do not take this number because the sample is too small. Sample is too small. Do not take this number and it will be biased. Okay, everybody will come and test. Even this number also could be biased. We don't know, right? Only those sick people come and test. We are not testing at random. Okay, so 10%. So this, what this means is 8% of the people that think that they are sick test positive. Okay, not 8% of the people of the United States are infected. No. Okay, no, it's not. It means that 8% of the people that felt sick and should be tested or were exposed to the COVID are positive. Okay, so 8% roughly. Okay, of 8% of the people that go and test are positive in the whole USA. Okay, that's a good estimate. Okay, so this number is not a good estimate because everybody just started, right? The sample size is too small. Now the sample size is big, right? We can use this to extrapolate actually, right? About 8%. Okay, we don't want to let this keep going up. Okay, the higher they go, the more dangerous it is. Okay, and please, I think it will be stupid if you look at it. They try to reduce the number of testing. This is government manipulation, which is the usual shit different day, same shit different day that they always do. This is STUPID, right? No, don't. Just keep testing, man. Just keep testing, keep testing, keep testing. Okay, see what you did? You increased it. Okay, good job, government. You increased it by 0.3%. This is how you manipulate. Wrong. Okay, this is not accurate. So 7.8, I don't think is accurate. I think the more accurate one is 7.6, right? Nevertheless, it went up by 50% roughly from the 5%. Okay, a bit more. Okay, it's 4%. Okay, it went up. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that we are actually propagating. After the reopen, the virus start to spread again, right? After the beach open, the virus start to spread again, right? But this is still manageable. No need to be scared. This is actually still manageable. Okay, even the hospitalization rate still manageable. No problem, I think. There shouldn't be much of a problem for the states to be. Oh, before I talk too much about this, I want to say first that I'm not a doctor, and this is for entertainment purpose only. Okay, I'm just sharing some data here with you guys where to look at the stuff, and I'm not a financial advisor, right? Okay, so please, you don't have to, you know what I mean. You don't have to listen to me. Entertainment, okay. That's my disclaimer, and I'm not responsible for the accuracy of whatever information I give to you. Okay? Don't trust me, don't believe me, don't need to listen. Please look at the data yourself. This is the data. Just go to Johns Hopkins University and Medicine. You know, read through it yourself. This is what I got from it. I may be wrong. Okay? I am not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. I say it again. So please, if you understand if there's any mistakes, you feel free to make a comment in the comment section. Okay, that would be so helpful for us, for me at least, uh, to analyze this data, because this data is actually that is driving the market. Okay. Next is wow, Alabama 12.5%. This is bad. Okay, but it could be also because they didn't do enough tests, you see. So actually, the more tests you do, the lower this will become. Okay. We don't care about this so much. We only know that it already spiked, and how what should we do about it? Okay. Okay. Actually, the best another data that you guys can use if you manage to get it is the hospitalization rate. I didn't manage to find the hospitalization rate after looking at the internet so many times. I don't know the number of people that is hospitalized, but due to is it going up or is it going down? Okay, I want to see uh, how many percent of the people that are tested positive is actually hospitalized. Okay, that is a very important data, right? Very important data. Why is it very important? Because if the capacity of the hospitals are very close to full, being overrun, the states, they have no choice but to close the re-lockdown. Okay, there is no choice. So actually, the most important data is not all this. The most important data is hospital capacity. What is the capacity of the hospital left? Okay, and then also how many people get hospitalized. Okay, I may not be very clear about this, but how many percent of people of these guys that tested positive, right, uh, needs to be hospitalized, because that is very important. Okay, they are not giving us that data. That is very important data. So we have to ask the right question, and the right question is how many percent of the people get. Let me repeat this again. Sorry. How many percent of people that is positive need to go to the hospital? How many? What is the capacity left of the hospitals in USA? Okay, are they overrun, or we still have another 50% or what? Okay, so how close are we to being locked down again? That could be a very good indicator for the stock market, right? Even if the stock market trade the opposite way and it shrug off all this data, okay, but having the fundamental data is always good. Remember that, please. Okay. Now the stock market is shrugging it off. Okay, because we don't really know how many percent of the people you know get the thing. Okay, so I want to say the hospitalization rate for COVID. Let's hope we manage to get a good data. Hospital bed occupancy. Yeah, it looks good. It's not that bad. Okay, there are still another 30%. Okay, okay, actually it's bad. Another 30% capacity is not that strong. Okay, but it's okay, it's expected because other people get sick too. You're not just dealing with COVID, right, every day. So we only have about 27% capacity left for COVID patients, right? And I don't think this is the whole USA. Are you sure that the whole USA only this much? Because this is quite funny. I don't think so. This is probably. Oh, this is just Dorchester Hospital. Yeah, this is not the whole USA. Lab confirm hospitalization. We don't have a choice, but we have to use this data. No, this is the whole thing, right? This is to show the ratio of the uh, how many needs to go to the hospital. Okay. Well, apparently most of the hospitalized is from 18 to 49 in the USA, which is actually quite bad. Yeah, most of the hospitalization come from 18 to 49 in the USA. So yeah, this is bad. See, 40.1% needs to be hospitalized. So 18 to 49. So yeah. Okay. This is not the correct data that I want. Hospitalization rate. Overall, no, this shouldn't be 100,000 population. Oh my god. This should be per positive, right? This is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is not the right data. We want to know how many percent of the positive people needs to go to hospital, not 100,000 population. What the hell is this? Oh my god, this is so bad, dude. We shouldn't go based on the population of the people, right? We should go based on the positive. This is really bad. COVID.net. Oh my god. This is a cover up, man. No, don't look at the population. They are sugar coating the data. We want to look at how many percent of the positive need to go to hospital. So fake, these bastards. This is why the government is bad. Sometimes they give you the data and you know disgusting sometimes. Okay, this is the better, yeah. No, this is not related to COVID. Oh, so there is no data that actually give us the percentage of people that need to go to hospital after they are diagnosed with COVID. Okay, this is sad. Okay, it's racist, man. You shouldn't put the race in the COVID-19. Data fact, data fact. So I want to know the hospitalization rate. Either way, I will skip it, okay, and let you guys research on it. If you guys have any uh, you guys have any data regarding the hospitalization rates and the percentage of uh, I'm the number of beds that is free, okay, that we can be used. Yeah, please leave a comment below. I really want to learn from you guys too. I mean, YouTube is a platform that helps us learn to with each other, right? Not only we try to talk about our views, but we also educate people, but also we also want to learn from others. We are not the best of the best, huh? We also not the best either. Okay, but we want to ask the right questions, huh? That's the most important. Hmm, hospitalization rate. So nobody really knows what's the hospitalization rates. Either way, is we know that it's increasing, but it is really hard for us to get the data or this data. You can see that there are certain forces that are trying to hide the data probably. Okay, or maybe the search engine sucks, so I gotta use the best one, although it's not very private.
Following breaking news just into NBC Connecticut, the list of states on Connecticut's travel advisory has now doubled
Connecticut is
to
safe.
16. The travel advisory was announced last week, requiring people who travel from states with high COVID-19 cases.
Nice, this is the data that we want. So the hospitalization rate is actually quite low. I don't know whether this is daily or what, but yeah, not many people need to go to hospital. In total, only 39,000. Right? This is not cumulative. Okay. So the previous day it was 38. Oh, it's 41,000. July 7. July 6. Oh, oh yes, it's actually going up. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully we can get a bigger. So July 7, it's 41,700. Damn, that's bad. July 6. No, let's count here. Yeah, from the bottom here. July 21st, 27. July 7, 41,700. 41,700 minus the throw. Let's see, the throw is about 28,000. Okay, and increase 13,700. July 22nd. So we can see the increase is correlated to this. If you see the number of new cases here. So what can we learn from here is that these are the daily new cases, right? This is the current people being hospitalized, so it's not so bad. We still can manage increase of this. This is doable. All right, even if this goes 100,000, still doable. We still can make it. So there's too many, you guys know what I mean, too many politics involved also. So yeah. So yeah, not that much. 13,700. Okay. Now this 23,481, right, roughly. Thirteen is 25,134. June to July. Okay. Let's just take the median. Okay, the median is fine, and then multiply it by the number of days. 39,000, right? No, 33,000 seems to be more accurate. June 23rd is between and June 12th, right? This is June 12th, right? No, June 20th. Okay, June 20. So the median is about here. 43,000, right? 43,000. 43,000 multiplied by June 22nd. Now is July, so it's about what? 7 days? No. 7, 8. 8 times 8 plus 8, 16 days. Multiplied by 16, 688,000, right? 13,000 people hospitalized divided by 688,000. Hospitalization rate is about 1.8%. Only 1.8% of the patients needs to be hospitalized. It's not that bad, okay? It's not so bad as thought, okay? Yeah, it's not that bad as we thought. So only 1.8%. Okay, if roughly 100,000 people, so only about 2% lah, just 2,000 people a day, still doable, I think. Okay, still doable. So it's not going to be a bloodbath like what you see happen in China. China was really a bloodbath. It was a wake-up call for them to improve their hospital. Yeah, you know what I mean. Their hospitals and their medical centers. Okay, so this is probably why the market is still going to keep going up. Okay, because it's the recovery time. Okay, but but there is no undoubtedly the this is an alarming figure for all of us. Okay, especially if this goes past now we probably there's still probably capacity is still high. Okay, US hospital capacity is still high. Okay, if I'm not wrong, we have about 900,000 beds. 900,000 beds is enough for the whole. See, 900,000 beds, yeah, no problem. This is small, very small number. No, not. This is this is a very small number, so it's still manageable. Even it goes up to 5 times the number. So states do not really need to re-close. Okay, there's a lot of data that is being not being if this data is correct, assuming this data is correct. Okay, guys, there's a lot of data that is not being transmitted correctly. Okay, so what do we learn? We learn that infection rate at most 200,000, maybe even less, 2%, maybe even less. So yeah, hospitalization rate 2%, maybe even less. So there's not much things to do here. Okay, so basically the hospital still can take it. Okay, even it goes up, number goes up to 100,000 new cases every day, still can take it. Okay, only 2,000 patients a day, no problem. Okay, then you say, oh, 2,000, but it keeps increasing, not instant. Okay, roughly 14 days, right? The patient 28,000, then they will be released. So yeah, still can make it. This is a very small number. So I would say that even if the new cases go up to 150 or 200,000 a day, still can make it. Okay, we are not going to be overrun. So I don't know why everybody is so scared, because they don't look at data, right? Data is the most important. So please always look at data and look at data. So a recap of the whole thing. It's not because of the increase in testing, blah 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 blah, the numbers go up, blah blah blah. It is, but the problem is the positive rate is going up, so the disease actually spread. That is pretty obvious. Okay, however, hospitalized currently is only 42,000 roughly, right? Okay, our hospitals have how many capacity? 900,000. Okay, 800,000. Multiply that by 50% for the other disease, right? Yeah, obviously there's a lot of other worse disease than corona. Okay, so please guys, okay, so there's only 400,000 beds for us. How many hospitalized now? Now only now only hospitalized 42,000. Very small, no problem guys, no problem. Okay, no problem. 42,000, if this is real for the whole USA, then we have no problem. We still have roughly 360,000, right? But you say, oh, this gonna keep going up. Yeah. We saw that too, about 2% roughly. 2,000. We assume 100,000 get infected. No, we don't assume 100,000. That's too little. I will assume 200,000 daily cases. 4,000 people need to go to the hospital, right? 4,000 times 14 days. 56,000. We can make it no problem. 56,000, space still enough. Okay, don't forget those hospitalized, they will recover or die. Okay, I'm sorry about that, but yes, this is the real truth. So it's not gonna keep accumulating like a savings account, right? Like a piggy bank. No, it's not gonna keep accumulating. So after 2 weeks, you're gonna kick some out. After 2 weeks, you're gonna kick some out. So 200,000 daily is still doable. Okay, 200,000 daily cases is still doable for the USA. Okay, what about 300,000? 300,000, 84,000, still doable, right? Still doable, no problems, right? Because the hospitals have 924,000. Okay, let's say 800,000. Okay, divide it by 2, 400,000. We still have 400,000 beds to use. Okay, and we only need to use 84,000. If the number goes up to 200,000 a day or 300,000 a day, so please, oh, this is 300,000 infected a day. So we are still very far from uh, the worst case scenario, which is hospitals get overrun and you see the nurses crying and the doctors crying and the doctors dying and the nurses dying, and you guys know what I mean. uh, so do I think that the reclosing is right or wrong? Okay, this is what I think. Okay, that has happened. Okay, USA could have chosen not to close or open, right? Just keep opening like Sweden. Okay, I think at that time, if we keep reopening like Sweden, we still can make it no matter how much the new cases go up, right? But the government is scared if we stretch it too far. 60,000, because if we stretch it too far, because 60,000 will go up to 100,000 very easily if you let things go on, right? So if you let things stretch too far, everything will be it will go up exponentially, right? Now, so they do the lockdown. So after the lockdown, you see da 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 da. So the lockdown was actually very successful. Very successful. Okay, but why the new cases keep going up? New cases keep going up, like I said before, because you testing more. Okay, you are testing more, you test more, you test more. The more you test, the more you get, right? So we don't need to look at the test, we want to look at the positive rate, right? You can see the positive rate is 8%. Okay, now what does that mean? That means that, because this data is quite good, I like it, 600,000 population. Okay, from 4.4% of the population. Okay, let's say you have 100 people. Okay, 44 tested for positive. Okay, then you jump forward to today. Okay, so that day was on June 14 maybe. Okay, June 15, around there. Now you jump forward to July. Okay, so from 44 that day, now it becomes 78. Oh my god. Okay, you will be like, but I think, to tell you the truth, 78 is not so bad. Okay, because it's only a small increase, only 50%. Okay, remember what I said, we cannot get the full picture, right? If we talk about 100 people, 10 people, 1000 people, then no need to be panic, so we don't have to panic so much, just test everybody, right? Now, second question, how do we be, if there is no, way for us to test everybody, how do we estimate? We use statistics, right? Take a sample of people, we test them, how many percent? Take a random sample of people, test them, how many percent? Sample has to be big enough, you have to randomize according to area, according to class, according to, you guys know what I mean, according to the job type and all that stuff. Okay, we don't want to be biased. Okay, now this is already biased, because those who come and test, they are not random. They feel that they are either uh, they are either at risk, or they already have symptoms which may not be the virus. Okay, so it's not that 7.5, it's not 8% of the US population have this virus. Okay, so please don't assume that much. Okay, please, because these are the people that are sick or have symptoms, and or they feel that they are at risk. Okay, maybe they met someone that was positive COVID, and then they have to test because they want to make sure that they are not infected and all that stuff. So these numbers, yeah, please don't assume, don't extrapolate. Okay, because if 8% of the people, of the population of the United States are infected, that would be about 26,400,000 infected. Multiply that by 2% hospitalization rate, 528,000 needs to be hospitalized. Okay, that will be a huge drain on the, you guys know what I mean. Okay, now that will overrun the hospital system, overrun, but still can be managed, not so bad. All right, not so bad, so the virus is not super bad. Okay, it just sucks because the government closed down. Okay, so what do I think? Should I conclude for this thing? I think that even the numbers go up to 200,000 daily tested positive, you guys do not have to care so much, and the government should not reduce this. Okay, the statistics prove that uh, it's actually pretty good. All right, the statistics prove that it's actually pretty good. Okay, but it is spreading. The virus is spreading. Okay, there's an increase in the spread, 100% for sure. Okay, so first wave was successfully contained. Second wave, not so. Okay, uh, second wave can go up to here, still can make it, not so bad. I would say the US still can make it, no problem. Okay, so the data you need to watch is this website. Remember this covidtracking.com data. This is very the most important. You just want to make sure it doesn't go up above 200,000 or 300,000. The moment it goes up to 200,000, then you have to start watching. Okay, death rate not so much. That's it, I guess. Not I don't have much stuff to say for today. Just want to talk about this, and maybe corona, S&P. Yeah, it's just a news update what's happening. Okay, so it broke the 15 barrier, went up to 17, but then it went down again today. Not sure what's gonna happen, but there's not much strength going on. Not much strength. Quite disappointing actually. Very disappointed. Not much strength or not much. You guys know what I mean. So my prediction is still the same. It will just fluctuate around this. That up down 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 up down. 3002 to 3000, 3002 to 3000, 3002 to 3000. Will it break? If we break 3002, the next best will be 3400 resistance. Will it succeed? Yeah, its tech keeps going up, yeah, like crazy. Yeah, you succeed. But I think there's a bubble in tech now. The earnings are, the PE is quite high, really. And the comments are overly optimistic. Okay, so when you see the comments in Seeking Alpha or whatever, they start defending the thing and like nuts, then it's starting to be a bubble. Everybody talking about Apple is going to go up to 400. Apple, everybody starts pumping it up. It's going to be a huge bubble going on in Apple. Okay, and bubbles are by nature irrational and irrational, and it's an irrational conviction or exuberance, right? Because they feel that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but it hasn't been proven yet by the earnings. Okay, I would like to see, actually, before I would like to conclude about Apple, I would like to see their second quarter financial statement. Okay, show us. All right, you say you are corona proof, right? All right, show us. Show us why you are corona proof. I want to see. You say you are corona proof. I want to see why you are corona proof. I want to see your earnings, right? So where is the earnings? Not yet out, but hopefully it's out soon, because this is a little bit too high. Okay. Second one I want to see about the earnings is Amazon. Where's the second earnings I want to see? Where's the earnings? Okay, because it went up from this to this. Yeah, I want to see the earnings that justify it, or sales, increase in sales. I want to see something like that. Okay, I think it went up. Yeah, sure, good, all of that stuff. But how do you justify it? Right, that's the most important thing. How do you justify it? Okay, Apple is not that overpriced, but yeah, it is overpriced, but it's not that overpriced. Okay. Uh, but these guys are still, I would say, much better than some stocks that are really overhyped, right? Now, Tesla stock is a visionary stock, right? What does it do? It gives you visions, right? It gives you visions all the time, all the time. I envision this, I envision this, I envision this. Okay. Not say that it doesn't have value, it has value. The technology is good and all that stuff. So they say that they have a market leading product that can destroy. That's the promise, okay? The visionary that can destroy cars that use normal gasoline fuel or petrol fuel or whatever, diesel fuel, okay? Uh, and then they have a automated driving promise, vision, okay? Uh, it's all good, but the price is pretty high. Number one, okay, of the cars is pretty high. I don't think that people are, maybe people in Europe with high fuel prices, yeah, they will probably buy it. And USA, the fuel price there is pretty high, yeah, they will buy all this stuff. Okay, but for places where the fuel is not so expensive, they rather buy the cheaper cars now, because cars are cheap now in many countries, right? Many other countries, about what, 5,000 US dollars you can get a car, 8,000 you can get a petrol fuel car, right? So this is a transition. It has a good program, but the transitioning period, we are still in the transitioning period to switch to a more, to a battery car. Okay, not to say that it won't work. The future definitely will be battery car. The future definitely will be automated driving for sure. Okay, so this is more like a tech company that has intellectual property, which is the technology itself. Okay, they can always sell the technology to other car manufacturers, right? Don't forget about that. And or they can choose to, increase their scale of production and keep producing and keep producing, and uh, kill them altogether, kill all the major car productions, all the major car producers altogether. The most important thing is that i I don't know how to value this stock for sure. Okay, I don't know how to value this stock, uh, but they are not having any demand problems. Okay, the only problem they have is their scalability. They cannot produce more. Okay, because if you want to be big, you must be able to produce more, you must be able to sell more. Competition competition's battery is not bad. They are getting closer and closer to Tesla. But I would say Tesla will own the future, definitely for sure. But that's only if they can make it cheaper, make the cars cheaper. When the cars are cheaper, then they will take over the world, right? Like really take over the world. I'm not joking. Okay, that's the problem with Tesla: scalability and if price. Okay, if they can at least make the price of the electric car the same as a fuel car, then oh my god, you're gonna see a huge switch to Teslas, right? Because it is much more efficient to use Tesla compared to a fuel car. Okay, Tesla will be the leading car manufacturer if they can produce a lot of cars. Second, make it efficient enough such that they can make price low. Then you're gonna see all the major car companies going to be switching also. They will also switch to the electric cars, all of them. Okay, so Tesla is paving the way. Okay, it's like how we switch from Nokia to BlackBerry and BlackBerry to Android or iOS, right? Is that switch? Okay, is that switch? So the bad problem of Tesla is it doesn't have a good scalability because it needs a lot of investments, capex, capital in expenditures. To produce car, you must have a factory, you must have a machine, all this stuff costs a lot of money. You haven't produced anything yet, all that stuff. Okay, but they are doing the right thing. They are not outsourcing the car production. That is one thing I admire about Tesla, because when you outsource the car production, you let them steal your technology. They are going to steal your tech. Okay, and seriously, that's the leading edge of why Tesla is better than the other electric car company. Okay, do I think the price of this is too high? I don't know, and I don't really care about Tesla, seriously. The reason being is that I want to see how they go. I like it, but I keep watching the stock. I don't buy Tesla. I am not sure about this kind of stocks. Okay, these are vision stocks, something that will explode in the future. Explode as in a good way, as in explode the sales, like go up like nuts. So, or maybe they get taken over by another company. Okay, so Tesla is visionary stock. Okay, a lot of people try to short them, but no, it won't fail. There's too many fans. There's too many. It's like a cult following, the green cult. The environmentalist cult all go come to Tesla. Okay, that'll be all for today. Thank you so much.